Hi and welcome back to my channel. So this coaching video today is going to be about abusive red flags that everyone should know. And this information I'm going to be sharing with you is provided by the domesticshelters.org. So 1 in 3 women will experience domestic violence at some point in their lifetime. According to the Violence Policy Center, 1,388 women were murdered by men they knew in 2014. And 870 of those murders were committed by an intimate partner of the victim. That's more than 2 women a day who are killed by their male partners. Seeing the signs of an abuser implies that survivors carry some level of responsibility to prevent their own death. And we all know that just cannot happen. You never know when that's going to come. So while being proactively cautious is a useful skill for anyone entertaining a relationship, most advocates would agree that the reality is abusers are cunning, they are deceptive, and they are manipulative. They can start out as the most romantic and thoughtful partners. Their tactics of power and control begin with earning a survivor's trust and then slowly eroding that trust through psychological, verbal, and even physical abuse. Things that make you go, The following are some indicators of potentially abusive partners. It should be noted, however, that just because a person may match one or more of these characteristics does not define them as an abuser. So please know I'm not telling you that just because they match 1 or 2 of the things that I'm going to share with you that they are an abuser, because they may not be. These red flags are just that. They're a warning sign. They're warning signs that are worth looking out for and paying attention to. So, someone that pressures you to move fast in a relationship or pushes for immediate commitment. Be aware of that. And let me first apologize, you guys. My sinuses are draining and I feel horrible. So we're going to make it through this. So if I sniffle a little bit, just work with me. So, if you meet someone and they're pressuring you to jump into a relationship, or they want to move this relationship along too fast, that's a red flag, and you need to keep your eye open for that. Number 2, has been abusive in previous relationships. If you know this person, or know of this person, I should say, and you know that they have a history of showing abuse in that relationship, I would suggest that you keep a lookout for that. Number 3, they believe in stereotypical gender roles and male supremacy, or they are domineering. Okay, they believe that the woman's place is inside the home and the man can take care of everything else outside of the home. That is something that you might want to keep an eye on. Number 4, they are continuously jealous and possessive. They isolate you from your friends and family, and they may try to persuade you not to have a job. Ooh, that's a big one. That is a big one. So number 5, they have 2 sides to his or her, and keep in mind, when we talk about domestic violence, it's not always just about the men, because there are some women who are very abusive. So has 2 sides to his or her personality. Others see your partner as a great person, but behind closed doors, he or she is angry and aggressive towards you. That's a huge sign. Number 6, experiences most emotions in the form of anger and has difficulty conveying other emotions. Number 7, has a violent temper and quickly changes their moods. That's creepy. No, I'm going to say this. That's downright spooky. So if you're with somebody and they can change their moods just like they turn the water on and off, that's a spooky situation, and you need to check that out and or leave. Number 8, is cruel to animals or children and is insensitive to their suffering. That is a huge red flag right there, for me anyway. Number 9, monitors your whereabouts, activities, or spending. Sometimes it could be because, you all are saving to buy a home or just saving for retirement or whatever. But if this person is monitoring your spending and they're worrying about where you are all the time, you need to keep an eye open for that. And number 10, does not listen to you when you say no, or they try to when you say no or try to assert your boundaries. I'm not having it, you guys. If I say no, no is what it is. And I will assert my boundaries. I will let you know, these are my boundaries. You don't come in between everything outside of these boundaries are fine, but you don't get to come inside. Set boundaries for yourself. And if somebody they're not trying to hear you say no, or they don't want to respect your boundaries, that's something that you need to keep an eye on. So you should consider taking a pause before entering into a relationship with a partner who matches any of these warning signs that I just shared with you. So when in doubt, talk to a trained domestic violence advocate. It may help to hear what someone with years of experience thinks, especially when you get that gut instinct that you need to keep an eye out for this person. Amy Borst, who is a clinical director of the Orange County, California domestic violence shelter called Laura's House, says that victims who find themselves with an abusive partner should also be aware of the signs that indicate the situation is escalating into a more violent one. So there's a shortening of time between abusive incidents, along with threats of physical or bodily harm, says Borst. Another indicator is when the abuser obtains the means by which the threats are made, such as purchasing a gun. Bottom line, if you feel threatened by your partner, do not wait. Get out and get some help. Do not wait. And I think too many times women see these indicators, and men too in some cases, and you just think, oh, it's a phase, it'll pass. It probably is not. Do not take your time leaving. Get to moving. Okay, find some help. So let me do a quick recap, and I promise I'll let you be. So today I talked about the red flags everyone should know. And like I said, this information was provided by the domesticshelters.org. Great tips to know. And again, I'm not saying that if the person that you're thinking about getting with, or the person you're with, if they exhibit one or two of these things, that you necessarily have to be alarmed. But it's something I want you to take a look at. Make sure you stay on top of that. Just watch everything. So I talked about things that make you go, Number one, they pressure you to move too fast in a relationship, or they push for an immediate commitment. If I just met you and we've only been talking for a few weeks, how are you going to press me to get into a relationship or be in a committed relationship with you? No. Number two, has been abusive in previous relationships. Ask questions. Be a little nosy. Find out who this person is. Number three, and I'm not saying, let me say this, because they could have had an abusive incident in a previous relationship, and that doesn't mean that it's going to happen to you, but it's definitely something that should raise the hairs on your back, because it would for me. Number three, believes in stereotypical gender roles and male supremacy, or they're very domineering. Number four is continuously jealous and possessive, isolates you from your friends and family, and may try to persuade you not even to have a job. See, I'm going to have a job because I need my own money. Number five, has two sides to his or her personality. They go out and everybody sees, oh, girl, he is just such a sweetheart. Or your woman, she's so sweet. Oh, but behind closed doors, when nobody else is around, the real them comes out. Number six, experiences most emotions in the form of anger and has difficulty conveying other emotions. Number seven, has a violent temper and quickly changes moods. That's a big no-no. Number eight, is cruel to animals or children and insensitive to their suffering. If nothing else on this paper would make me move quick, that right there would. I love children and animals, and if you can't have compassion for them, we have no business being together. Number nine, monitors your whereabouts, activities, or your spending. Be careful about that. Unless you just tend to spend too much, then, that's a different story. Number 10, does not listen to you when you say no, or you try to assert your boundaries. Honey, get those boundaries up front early. And if they are not happy because you're setting boundaries and they don't want to hear no, it's time for you to go. And so, of course, I shared with you about Amy Borst, who's a clinical director of the Orange County, California domestic violence shelter. Laura's House, she says that the victims who find themselves with an abusive partner should also be aware of the warning signs that indicate the situation is escalating into a more violent one. She said there's a shortening of time between abusive incidents, along with threats of physical or bodily harm. Another indicator is when the abuser obtains the means by which the threats are made, such as purchasing a gun. It could be purchasing a baseball bat. It could be purchasing a hammer. Whatever it is that they've threatened to hurt you with, and they're going out buying these things, honey, you need to be packing up and moving it on. Go seek help. Contact the police. Get a stay away order. Whatever it is that you need. Make it clear. You know what? It's not you. It's not you, it's me. This isn't going to work out. And then keep it moving and don't you dare look back. So I hope this helps someone. And in the comment section below, I want you guys to let me know if you've ever been in a relationship where you've experienced any of those things. Let me know how you handle it. I'm just curious to know how you handle that situation, because I think sometimes as a people we don't want to feel like we're giving up on people, and some people you need to give up on and move on because they're not going to change. So again, in the comment section, let me know if you've ever experienced any of the things that I mentioned with someone that you met. It could be current or in the past, doesn't matter, but just share your experience so that what you share could potentially help other people. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much to my newest subscribers. Thank you so much to those that continue to support me in all that I do. I love you guys to the moon and back, and there's nothing you can do about it. In the meantime, I want you to continue to pray big. I want you to continue to think big, and I want you to continue to do big things. But most importantly, I want you to keep an eye out on the people that you allow into your life. Keep an eye out, because everybody that comes in our lives are not there because they mean us any good. And that's just a reality in which we live. Everybody doesn't mean you any good. So keep your eyes out. You deserve the best. And I want you to have that. Until next time, take care.